Good evening. My name is Josh Odom, and I believe language is an important aspect of our everyday lives. Language is our culture. Language brings us closer together. Language is what brings and shapes a community. But language can also be a barrier. Language can separate us from different cultures simply due to a lack of communication, or more precisely, the inability to communicate with one another. This has always been a problem throughout the world, but it shouldn't be. Language should bring us together, not push us apart. And Verity, she's a consultant for the North Shore Child Family Guidance Center, and she said that language is our greatest mediator that allows us to relate and understand each other, and it enables us to communicate with one another. And I believe this to be true. Language is the key to bridging the gap that separates people. And I believe that the best way to do this is to start learning a second language in school, from either kindergarten or first grade to the day they graduate. Now you can learn 2 languages, 3 or 4, but I do believe at least a second language would be necessary. There are many different ways to do this. You could do it at school, which I believe is an absolute must, and most importantly, is that you need to bridge the gap at home. There are many resources. You can go to your local library, your school library. They have many online resources. They have books like these that will help understanding a second language at the home. You can learn with your child, which is excellent. And I believe that would possibly help bridge many gaps through our culture. And the best way for people to learn a new language is while they're in school. And according to the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Language students who learn a second language seem to have a more positive attitude towards those particular cultures. And this is excellent because as these students graduate and move off into the real world, whether they go off to college or enter the workforce, they're taking that second language with them. And that puts them at a better position for jobs, and it helps them bridge cultural gaps because they're going to meet many different people from around the world. The world is no longer closed off. It's interconnected through the internet, telephone, television, travel. You can now go from one country to the next in a couple hours. And I've done that before. I've been from the United States to the Philippines. It's a very long flight, but considering it used to take months by ship, a couple hours in a plane is nothing. And anybody can do this nowadays. And this is great for helping students understand different cultures that may be different from their own. There needs to be a way to bridge gaps between cultures. Many different problems arise from these inability to understand each other. And there is nothing worse than that. There is also evidence that says that learning a second language at a younger age is easier than as an adult. And it helps build a better understanding of their own language. An article on by Language Stars said that young children are uniquely suited to learning a second language. Learning a second language at a young age is cognitively as easy as learning a first language. And language is associated with learning. You need it to be able to understand everything throughout it. Okay? And language is a necessity in life. Without it, the human race would have never made it as far as we have. Learning a second language as a child will help improve upon their education and allow them a deeper understanding of the world that they live in. Language is the key to humanity, and I would just like to say thank you for your time and have a wonderful evening.